Hello everybody and welcome to more Heroes of the Storm on KhaldorTV. Today we have a best of 3 series that was played a few days back in the End of the Storm tournament. And it's a series that a lot of people have been requesting that they would like to see it on the channel. TeamLiquid versus Puszek Team. A best of 3 series, and TeamLiquid are of course the dominant Spanish team in the European scene right now, with Puszek's team being one of the newcomers in the scene. A Polish team that is starting to make some waves and that actually got some pretty decent victories in the recent past as well. Our first map is going to be Sky Temple today, and for TeamLiquid we have a very aggressive composition, a jumper comp with Illidan and Tyrael and also Abathur. So you have all those jumping potential into the backline of your opponent to try to take down key heroes like, for example, Khaldor, which Puszek Team in this game is actually playing next to Nanubarak at the front line. The interesting part though is that here on Sky Temple we have Nova played by Puszek Team. So they are not afraid to bring out the #1 hero killer, as she's also called. So guys, we're gonna jump into Sky Temple and gonna find out if Nova can bring the victory or if TeamLiquid will prevail and take the first map of the best of 3 series.
Alright everybody, welcome to game number 1 here at the GosuGamers tournament at the End of the Storm between Puszek Team and TeamLiquid. The series was played during the winner bracket in the first round actually, and to the left side of the map here on Sky Temple, our first map, we have Abathur played by Vortex, we have Black Scorp on Illidan, Grand Paquete on Rega, Lucifron on Tyrael, Sergeant Hammer played by Falcon, and their opponents, the Polish team to the right side with GoTerra that you might be familiar with from StarCraft 2 on Nanubarak. We have Shadow Bro on Tyrande, we have Ubrim on Nova, Rutsuf, who I still cannot pronounce, on Brightwing, and Kreku on Khaldor. Apparently that means turtle, or is supposed to mean turtle, like something along those lines. I'm not even trying to really pronounce that. So yeah, we just call him Rutsuf. If you give yourself a name like that, you just ask for the commentators to just call you Bob or something. So yeah, we already have Vortex rocking the pajama Thor here, and well, let's see. On a map like this, of course, in the composition that we are currently seeing for TeamLiquid is actually like very strong. You're trying to dive your opponent with Illidan and Tyrael, go straight into the back line, and in this case probably on a target like, yeah, well, Khaldor, and try and take him out as fast as you can. The interesting part is that we actually have a Nova in this game, so Ubrim on Nova with Ambush Snipe on level 1. I suppose that we're going to see a pretty typical Nova build from him in this case. Already trying to move in here up at the top, sees Grand Paquete. How about the Sergeant? Well, Falcon moving back in the last second here. So, yeah, he didn't get sniped, but Ubrim was definitely waiting for him to maybe get Gravity Lapse so that he could get all of the damage in. Regarding the level 1 talents, there's not too much that we can really talk about at this point. Maybe Tyrael is something that we could really, we could actually talk about Tyrael a little bit, since he goes for Regeneration Master on level 1. Tyrael has currently, well, mainly 2 builds, either Regeneration Master if you are a solo tank for your team and you want to have the extra hit point regeneration, or you can always go for the extra damage against heroes on your smite and then aim for a full smite build with that. As he is the sole hero in the team, we are probably also going to see Amplified Healing on level 4, which gives him a little bit of additional sustain, and especially Regeneration Master can be quite strong later on in the match. On down here in the mid temple, we at this point have 2 players from TeamLiquid claiming the shots, and up at the top, as you can see, it's Shadow Bro and Tyrande doing the same thing. The bot lane, that's where Abathur is currently busy, so you might have seen on the minimap already that there's not a single hero down at the bot lane, and this means that Abathur is currently soaking the bot lane, but trying to just push out the mid a bit with his Locust that he's currently using to help Black Scorp out, who is playing Illidan in this game. So let's see how this is going to work out for TeamLiquid, because so far they're just a tiny bit behind. It's not too much just yet. They will definitely catch up. It's just a matter of who started the temple attacks first, and in this case we're now having still 0 kills on the board. We're having a Beetle build on the Nanubarak. Tyrande is going into Protective Shield on level 4. Attempt to actually stun Grand Paquete here on his Rega, but that didn't really work out. We see gathering power for 2 of the heroes on the side of Puszek Team. We have it on Nova and also Khaldor. So Khaldor not going for Netherwind will make it a bit more difficult for him to set up any gravity lapses against an opponent. But of course we have the added damage then later on, especially on 13 and 16 that he can dish out. Far side on Rega for the added vision. This is especially helpful if you're trying to find out if your opponent is going for boss. Of course the mercenary camps already spawned 2 minutes in. At 3 minutes we will see the boss appear on the map, but Black Scorp on Illidan took the opportunity to move in and take the first Siege Giant camp immediately. And with that, now they are starting to put some pressure on the bot lane. And one of the things that TeamLiquid oftentimes does is just rotate through the lane, sometimes even ignore the second temple and instead push the top or even the mid lane to get some experience and an early fort. We could see that from them later on in the match as well. But up at the top now we have Grandpaquette still trying to defend this one. They have no Mule. They cannot take Mule on any of the heroes. Well, it's actually not true. They have Abathur, so they could go for a Mule on level 7 for Abathur if they give up Needle Spine, which gives them additional damage. So that's one of the things that they could do. But yeah, in this case right now we have, as already assumed, Amplified Healing on Tyrael, so that will help to keep him alive a bit. And level 7 should hit for both of the teams pretty soon, and with Pressurized Glance and Adrenaline Overload, that's kind of what you expect when you're seeing an Abathur in the game right now. There's just not very much else that you can do with Abathur, just simply because we don't see that Siege build this much anymore. Blizzard had a few changes in the last patch, and that kind of ruined it mostly. So we're having Mule taken on Abathur, so giving up Needle Spine for that, and probably already using it up at the top lane. Yep, there exactly. We have it. Go Terror and Kreku, they're actually like waiting for this hard camp here. It's pretty normal that you're trying to take the hard camps roughly around the time that the bottom shrine is about to appear, or at least being announced, so that you get some pressure at the top lane, where the focus of the opponent's team will be at the bot lane. And oftentimes you just see, as a result, both of the hard camps, both of the bruiser camps moving up against each other. In this case though, TeamLiquid already creating a bit of an imbalance and making sure that they have up at the top now their own camp pushing. Abathur can also help out there. And at the bot lane, this is where the shrine is now being attacked. And both of the teams on level 7. That means that we're also having a Mule on Tyrande. And here comes TeamLiquid moving in already, jumping straight for Terror. Stun against Tyrael. Not any damage just yet. Oh, Falcon needs to be super careful. Thrusters away already. And while he was able to escape, he's of course now in cooler, needs to be super careful, especially against the Tyrande stun. Once again, Flame Strike, Go Terra is a little bit in trouble, but so is Grandpaquette. And with a quick burrow charge, Nuborak gets out of the way. Rhaegar healing at the fountain, and both of the teams still on the same level, level 8 versus level 8. Up at the top, Vortex is helping out here. Slabathor on a mission. He's not even hiding in the bush, but still straight going for it. Can always jump down to the bot lane with a quick Symbiote head, and he will have to, going for Falcon here already, who's chasing Nova away, but there's still a lot of damage for Puszek Team. They're trying to go for Lucifron here. Oh, and Blackscope is actually isolated, gets Symbiote head, and it takes down Khaldor. Really well done. Tyrande also super low, and so is Brightwing. A double kill for TeamLiquid. They're losing Tyrael though. They're not getting too much value out of that, but they are already a level ahead in this case right now. So solid start for TeamLiquid in the series. Well played thus far, and they will have a very, very early level 10 against their opponents here. Judgment, Ultimate Evolution, Metamorphosis, and Rhaegar will obviously go for Ancestral Healing here. I mean, there's very little else that he could take. I suppose that with the composition that they have, they could theoretically go into a Bloodlust, since a lot of their heroes depend on the auto attacks for damage, but of course then you lack so much heal that you can't really have the sustain during a fight that you need. And Bloodlust is also quite easy to disengage from. Grandpaquette and Falcon at the bot lane, taking care that Tyrande is not able to just heal up that fort anymore. Oh, look at that, the flank from the top. Lucifron and Blackscorp jumping in together with Abathur, going straight for Brightwing, taking him down, and that is kill number 3 for TeamLiquid. The Spanish Armada once again with full force, showing their opponents how rotations on these maps work. These guys are just so damn good. Web Blast taken on Nuborak, that will help them to isolate one of the healers in the fight, or maybe even just get a grip on what Illidan is doing and try to go for the rest of the team. It is indeed Starfall and Precision Strike that we are seeing on Tyrande and Nova, and we have Emerald Wind taken for Brightwing. Now some of you might be a bit surprised about that and think about why exactly is Brightwing taking Emerald Wind when you could go for Blink Heal and just simply boost the healing numbers. And the answer to the question is actually quite simple. Emerald Wind is a talent that is taken often these days if you are up against a jumper comp. If you're up against heroes that have very hard engage and are trying to jump your backline, so that you can isolate them from the rest of the team and then focus them down while they cannot be helped by the opponents, or simply as a disengage. And since we have Illidan and also Tyrael on the side of TeamLiquid, it's a perfect talent take here for Brightwing, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. Level 12 versus level 11. TeamLiquid still in the lead in this case. The bot lane being used by Puszek Team to make sure that they get the extra experience thanks to Brightwing. That's of course something that Abathur can do as well if he just uses the symbiote head. With Abathur, very important to note, he only soaks experience with his body and with his symbiote head. That being said, if you of course kill a unit, a minion, with one of your abilities, you also get experience for that particular minion. That means that if Abathur kills somebody with a locust, or if he kills someone with a mine, that also applies, so you get that, the experience for this individual minion. But the locusts, just to give you another example, do not soak EXP as a general rule. That's something that actually a lot of new Abathur players don't really know, and quite important to really point out, since yeah, it's pretty important if you want to soak like 1 or 2 lanes and make sure that your team's not falling behind because of that. Level 13 versus level 12 is also putting another talent now into the hands of TeamLiquid, and in this case we're having Feral Lunge for Rhaegar. It's also so much transference. Without Needle Spine, that's the normal talent to go for. And, well, over here we have Puszek Team starting to move in, but we have Emerald Wind in cooldown, so boss is taken by TeamLiquid, and so far it's been a very nice performance by the Spanish team. Puszek Team is struggling a bit, but they're not too far behind. They're on level 12, they will hit level 13, they couldn't really contest boss. They pushed in one of the structures up at the top lane, and we're having Vortex now defending the top with his Abathur, going for Falcon to help me just out with that a bit, and at the bot lane it's still Puszek Team making sure that they defend against the boss. So all in all, it's exactly what TeamLiquid wants. They have map control, they have a map presence that is very difficult to deny their opponents, but well, Terror actually gets a web blast off against one of the members of the team. The stun, not perfect but good enough in this case, and they are taking down Gran Paquete. So the Rhaegar player has been eliminated, and that puts TeamLiquid in a position where they only have 4 heroes on the map compared to the 5 that we are seeing for Puszek Team. Now that they also got the additional talent with Burning Rage taken over a potential spell shield, a Shrink Ray to make sure that they can control Illidan during the fights, and also the Lethal Decoy. We have now finally Puszek Team in a position where they have a better map presence than TeamLiquid. That might help them to catch up in experience a bit, but they are still pretty far behind. We are currently seeing TeamLiquid aim for level 15, and Lucifer is checking out what's happening over here at the Siege Giants, but the rest of the team is also lying in wait to just jump in once again. Sergeant Hammer in this case with Giant Killer imposing Will Ontario, and we're having also the passive ability on Illidan, who goes for the extra evasion talent in this case, goes for that. As you can see, we have to the right side also another Siege Giant camp being attacked, this time by the Polish team. And we are still on the first map. Sky Temple is the first map in the best of 3 series. Up at the top lane, again, the Brightwing Soak going for the split soak here, and trying, of course, to make sure that they at least hit level 16 around the same time that TeamLiquid does, because if your opponent has that extra talent, it's quite tricky. Not a lot of kills on the board, considering that we're 10 minutes into the game. TeamLiquid getting quite a good spot here, not taking those walls down. Personally, I'm a huge fan from eliminating the walls. In this case, of course, Illidan could benefit potentially from a wall that he can dive towards, but still, normally you want to make sure that your opponent just doesn't have the vision, since if he knows where you are, where you rotate to, he can try and capitalize on that. So in this case, TeamLiquid not really bothering with it at all. They can use Illidan later maybe to jump back to one of those, but we have rotations up to the top now where one temple is again spawning, and as you can see, Brightwing is also there, so they could think about jumping onto Brightwing. But now that we have level 16 for TeamLiquid, it looks very much like they are going to get a free temple here. But it's actually smart. Puszek Team is pushing the bot lane right now. So this is actually pretty cool to see that from them, that they realize, well, we can't do anything about the top lane. That temple is lost already. We need to just move down to the bot lane and try to get a trade for it. TeamLiquid, on the other hand, they are quite smart about it as well. They're saying, okay guys, if you dedicate your time at the bot lane, we just move in and start to pressure your keep. So very nice counterplay from TeamLiquid here. A very, very good move. Like, I think the worst thing that they could have done would have been to try and move down to the bot lane with a few of their heroes and try to engage into a battle. They have the extra talent, but they would have lost a lot of time crossing the map, and in this case now, they simply forced a B back from their opponent. Triple blood for blood, by the way, as well as envenomed spines and stone skin on the side of good old Sergeant Hammer. So not seeing anything like the movement in siege mode. And let's see how exactly Falcon is able to gonna get his damage in, because so far, if you look at the damage in the game, especially to heroes, Falcon is currently at 10,000. Like, most of the heroes are still extremely low. Brightwing currently rocking the damage on the side of Puszek Team with 12k, and that's mainly because there weren't too many team fights just yet. The teams are quite happy to just move around the map. Really patient maneuvers also from Puszek Team and Liquid, as you can already tell. They are just going from temple to temple. They are playing the objectives right now and trying to play the map. And the same thing that we're seeing now is also the 16 talent for Puszek Team, and this is where things are starting to get a bit interesting right now. We have also double fake taken, Critterize, and Ignite. And Ignite, of course, is a talent that you're really trying to get as soon as you can, or at least at roughly the same level that your opponent is. Looking at structures, that's where Liquid also has an advantage. They took down a keep at the top lane already, and both of the forts, or all three of the forts in the mid lane. Whereas we are seeing for Team Liquid still most of the structures on the map. The only exception is the fort at the top lane that was taken out earlier by Puszek Team when they were started to push in here. 18 versus 16, currently the levels here, so still a 1.5 level lead on the side of Team Liquid. Jumping in once more, Boss is going to be back in 15 seconds. Black Scorp is still alive, they're getting lightning shielded. Web Blast already used, and the kill against Illidan right away. Illidan gets immediately sniped. We have no healer in the game since Web Blast was used on Rhaegar. Here comes the precision strike. Lucifer getting extremely low, and the body block against the Illidan copy in this case. The cooldown was not ready for another dive, so that was a very nice move that we saw there from Puszek Team. Good fight for them, and now that also Tyrael was taken out by Nova at the bot lane, they have an opportunity to go straight for the boss, and I do not think that they will pass on to that, because we have them moving straight forward. They play a 5 versus 3 right now, and Team Liquid is all of a sudden in a bit of trouble. Still ahead in experience, but now it's 4 kills versus 3 against them, and the boss is something that they just simply cannot contest. There's also 2 shrines now on the map. Rhaegar already moving up to the top. Him, Web Blasted in the last game, played a huge role in the outcome of the team fight, since Illidan just didn't get any support with a lightning shield on ancestral healing. So very well done and good timing by GoTerra for Puszek Team. The temple at the top lane is being taken, but at the bot lane, just look at that. There's nothing happening. Puszek Team is not even moving in for that. They're trying to go for Rhaegar. They really want Rhaegar. Nice moves there. The ancestral healing is hitting, but I don't think that's going to matter too much. There was another stun already lined up, and the kill against Rhaegar now as well. Up here at the top, another temple is being taken, and down to the bot lane, we're having Black Scope and Illidan trying to at least secure a few shots of the bottom temple to make that happen. The fort at the bot already lost, since the boss is still pushing in. Falcon is taking care of that. The mid lane fort also eliminated, but still that experience lead that we are seeing for the Spanish team. Team Liquid is doing very well here still, but the last few fights that we saw, well, the last fight and therefore the last few moves on the map definitely went in favor of their opponents. So now that the 16 talent is available, it looks like Puszek Team is trying to make a bit of a stand here. We have also, there comes again a Web Blast against Illidan. He was trying to retreat, but the disengage not successful. Illidan tries to move back with Metamorphosis, moves back into the fight for a second, but Black Scorp escapes in the end after all. To the bot lane, still a couple of shots on the temple available, and that's something that they can use now to just maybe move in once again and put some pressure onto the keep, which is exactly what they're doing. But the level 20 talent, that's of course going to be a pretty big deal here in this case, and there it is. Level 20 for Team Liquid, still a level ahead of their opponents, and one of the things that really plays a huge role with this is Abathur. I mean, just look at the experience gathered during this game. Abathur is currently at 16,800, and therefore he's nearly on twice the amount of EXP gathered since most of the players that we're seeing on the Spanish team, with the exception of Sergeant Hammer in this case. So very, very well played once more. The level 20 talents with the Hive Mind probably, yep, there it is, on Abathur. We have Demonic Form on Illidan, and in this case Rewind for Rhaegar, which is becoming a little bit more popular over the Storm Shield that you could take on him. So you have the double heal, you have the double shield. We're also seeing Hardened Shield, Talking Rod Shields on Tyrael. And we have, of course, the advanced Lava Strike after Napalm. The thing is, though, that Team Liquid couldn't really capitalize on that just yet. They had a level lead, but that's already gone, and in just a few seconds, level 20 talents are going to be ready for Puszek Team as well, and then it's going to be an even fight. No matter really what you did before level 20 hits for your opponent, it doesn't matter too much when you're on the same talent level as they are. The only thing that really matters at that point is who was able to take down the most keeps already, because every single battle will be on an eye level after that. And this is exactly what Team Liquid is also very well aware of. We have a double rewind, one for Nova, one for Nubarak. That's a lot of potential crowd control and also damage that we're seeing there. And just having those two Storm Shields, one on Tyrannus and the other one on Brightwing, that allows you to just have so much sustain during the fights that it's really difficult to take one of the targets down. The preferred target would be Khaldor, of course. Khaldor, with all the damage that he can dish out thanks to Ignite, is just an absolute beast in a match like this, especially in the late game. So you want to go for him. He's also one of the squishiest heroes that we are seeing in the lineup of Puszek Team, maybe with the exception of Nova, who then again has stealth going for her. So Khaldor is a hero that they're going to try and jump, but with two Storm Shields, the protective shield as well, he's not going to die easily. They're starting to move in right over here. That temple, depending the outcome, could be a huge blow to one of the two teams. Could even be the end for Puszek Team since they lost the top keep already. If they lose all 5, they're jumping in, trying to take Khaldor down. Here comes the protective shield though. Immediately the Abathur copy is down. Lucifron is being attacked. In comes Blackscorp. Once again, they're trying to keep him alive, but the Battle Blast has been used as well. And here comes the Ancestral Lead to at least keep Illidan alive since Tyrael is already dead. Falcon dying now too, and that means that we are only having 2 heroes still in the fight, and Illidan doesn't make it either. Just way too much Puszek Team and not enough Team Liquid. They're jumping in again, taking them out, and just like that, it is a 2 versus 5. They didn't even lose a single hero, thanks to all those Storm Shields, to the protected shield, and of course then also Brightwing herself. There's just way too much damage coming out of this, and sustain as well. So very tricky to deal with. 2 protective shields, 2 Storm Shields, the Gust of Healing, Criterize, the Web Blast. This is just way too much to handle. So job well done on the side of Puszek Team, and they're trying to finish actually. They're going straight for the core here, and I think they will be able to do that. They are actually pulling it off. 9 kills versus 3, and Puszek Team with a victory on map number 1 here at the end of the Storm tournament against Team Liquid, taking the lead in the best of 3 series.
Oh, Team Liquid. Well, that looked good for a long time, but Puszek Team playing a very patient game and turning things around there. Nova paying off in the end, and suddenly the Polish team is in the lead. So all of a sudden, Team Liquid needs to win 2 maps in a row, or they will be in the losers bracket of the tournament. And guys, well, let's just look at map number 2. We have Shire. The draft's actually looking pretty good for Team Liquid, I'd say. They have only 1 hero at the front line, but it's Muradin, so it's very difficult to get past him. And then in the back line you have heroes like Sylvanas, Vala, and also Zeratul. And we all know, of course, that Blackscorp on Zeratul can really put some pressure on the squishies of an opponent. That might have been one of the reasons why we're seeing in this case also now Tacita being played for Puszek Team. But it's still a bit of a setup that feels a bit weird compared to what they had in the last game, where aggression was definitely their main goal. Shire is, of course, also the map choice of Team Liquid here. So apparently the Spanish team thinks that this is going to be the map where Puszek Team is going to struggle the most against them. If they're right or not, we're going to find out right now. Will Puszek Team take a 2-0 against Team Liquid here in the series, or is Team Liquid going to bounce back and force map number 3?
The second game, ladies and gentlemen. We are on Shire in this best of 3 series at the end of the Storm. To the left side, it is the Spanish Armada. Well, they got sunk in the last game, didn't they? Vortex this time on Vala. Here on map number 2, we have Blackscorp on Zeratul, Grand Paquette on Brightwing, Lucifron on Muradin, and Falcon on Sylvanas. To the right side of the map, it is the team of the hour, Puszek Team, the Polish team, with their battle cry, Napierdalaj! And they take Go Terror on Anubarak. They have Zagara, played by Ibrahim. We have Shadowbro on Tacita, Kreku and Jaina, and the Turtle on Malfurion as the support here. So, well, let's see how this is actually going to work out for Team Liquid, because right now they have to fight back into the series. Doesn't happen too often to them that they are behind in the best of 3, but this is what happened on the last map. It was a very patient performance that we saw there from the Polish team. They're gonna try and do that again. So yeah, let's check out how that's gonna work out for them. Go Terra up at the top lane next to Lucifron. Look at that. Oh my god, it's such a peaceful image. I'm really liking it. But as we have Go Terra move in to go for the stun, there comes Lucifron and Blackscorp, and they want to go for the Queen. They go for the Queen of Blades, but it is the Psy Blade on Zeratul that finishes her off with a last blow. Really well done for Team Liquid. An early kill here with a roaming squad on the map already up at the top. We do have at the bot lane only Falcon, Normally you are trying to put a bit more of a presence on the bot lane, since you have access to 3 mercenary camps in total over here. And, well, down there we have GoTerra, or up here we have Gunpakette and GoTerra still in position. And look at those two sneaky guys. They're taking the back lane. They're taking the back entrance and just saying, like, alright, we don't want to be seen by any of our groupies here. Let's try and surprise Kreku. Uh-oh, Jaina. Well, there's the first singularity spike. She was too far out. There was nobody on the map saying anything about these two missing or where they could be. And Jaina just was not ready for that. She was not prepared. Even without an Illidan in the game, that's still a thing. Falcon is taking care of the first wave here. Looking at talents, we have Bribe taken, Tassadar taken out as well in the mid lane here. Just look at that. That Ragdoll got wrecked. We have Luciphon and Blackscorp actually getting a lot of kills in this early in the game. 3 kills already. The shrines end up in the hands of Puszek Team, but I don't really think that TeamLiquid is too worried about that, considering how much they are ahead here already. Just think about this early in the game, 2 minutes in, having a talent lead over your opponent with level 4 versus level 3. An entire level difference that we had at the start there. The Reverberation build on Muradin, the full multi-shot build on Vala. We're having a Zeratul in this case not going for the auto-attack build, which is by now extremely popular, of course, in the current meta. But we are seeing them instead with the old-school build going into Gathering Power and more of a mage build. And currently they're just happening to jump in here. We have already the first position here. Look at Vortex, by the way, soaking shots from 2 towers. Nope, report please. Yeah, but Vortex taking those shots, there are not too many heroes rotating with them, and Vortex just like going for it, trying to take down the second tower as well. So what you oftentimes do is you position yourself at the tower so that only one of them is going to attack you. In this case, I don't really think it mattered too much since the towers were nearly out of ammunition anyways. But yeah, just in case that you are playing on the map and take a Dragon Eye, keep that in mind. If you position yourself like down here or up there, only one of the towers is going to hit you while you're trying to get the most out of the Dragon Eye. It's especially important when you're playing against a team that tries to rotate too many heroes to face you so that they can burst you down. In this case though, experience soaking is extremely important. That's why Puszek Team kept at least 1 hero on each map. An early terror is usually not all that strong. Oh, but a kill getting that on top of that is of course amazing. 4 kills against 0 so far. Level 6, nearly 7 versus level, well, 6 just started. We have that promote on Tassadar that we already talked about. Oftentimes you see players or teams trying to go into Brightwing plus Tassadar so that they can get a full push with the double promote on the lanes. In the new patch, of course, promote is going to be changed quite a bit, so if there's a hero on the lane, then it's not going to make too much of a difference any longer. But in just minion against minion fighting, it's basically the same thing in the new patch as well. Interesting changes to promote, I have to admit. Blizzard with good thinking there. I'm really liking the way that they're currently approaching that. I'm curious to see if promote is still on certain maps going to be a thing that people try to rely upon, especially on a hero like Tassadar. Brightwing in this case is going for Gust of Healing after a Protective Shield on level 4. Talking builds, we're having also for Sylvanas Unstable Poison taken with Wither Wind on level 1 for the increased range on the Withering Fire. Oftentimes these days you see Barb Shot instead of with the wind taken. If you are not really too worried about your position and the closeness to your opponent's team, then Barb Shot is just amazing to push waves out, take mercenaries down, or just like make sure that you can pressure your opponent from wave to wave and get that in. It works extremely well with Unstable Poison too. But for now, it is still that lead that we have in experience for TeamLiquid. And keep in mind that in the last game, TeamLiquid was already able to get ahead in the match as well, but it was later on in the game when we saw their opponents do extremely well. Endless Creep here, taken now on level 7, and we also have a full Storm build on Shadow Bro, which means that on level 1 you go for Overload. Oh wow, actually you usually don't. Okay, that's an interesting one. Let us talk about that in a second. Bot lane. I'm not quite sure how exactly that happened. Zeratul, okay, Zeratul apparently going down, and then they were able to get the kill against Mubarak as a counter kill. So Blackscorp, the only one dying on TeamLiquid thus far. Up at the top, having currently Luciphon taking the second shrine. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about Tassadar. Usually it's the Psy Infusion that you see on level 1 or Conjurer's Pursuit, so that you have at least some kind of mana regeneration. And in this case, he went for the additional range on his Storm, which is actually interesting, and that's oftentimes a bit of a problem for you if you want to get the if you want to get your spells out, because in the early game your mana pool is quite low. Right now we have on level 7 then Static Charge, and I think with that he's kind of forced to go into Double Strike as well and use the Storm talent on level 16. So we might on 13 see them go into yeah, I suppose Tassadar could really go in. Oh, look at that. Terra actually in trouble. And Nubarak goes down. Good Void Prism to isolate 2 more. And yep, there it is. Here comes the Wailing Arrow, and it's another double kill. Really, really well done. But as mentioned, Tassadar might go into the Shrink Ray on 13 if the idea is to go for a full focus on Storm so that he can pick up the second strike on level 16. And with Shrink Ray against Black Scorp, that would do a lot of work. Shadow Bro, on the other hand, gets stunned again and taken out. The Singularity Spike apparently hitting as well. And TeamLiquid is currently dominating game number 2. Strafe taken on Vala. We're having Blink Heal on Brightwing. The Void Prison, we saw it in action, as we did see the Wailing Arrow. We also have Avatar now taken too. And at this point, I mean, we still have TeamLiquid just roaming the map, going into the mid lane with the Dragon Statue, taking that out. Up at the top, we see Brightwing. So they are doing extremely well. Their rogue abilities are finally in play now for Puszek Team 2, and that gives them more. We have Locust, Swarm, and of course an Archon, as well as Water Elemental and Tranquility on Malfuri. And no big surprises here, but it's still pretty weird to just see how TeamLiquid is currently dominating in this game compared to the last one, where Puszek Team was at least able to keep the distance. They were keeping close in the last game. Right now, they're not really doing that. Snowstorm, by the way, the level 4 talent for Jaina, just in case that you didn't see that already in the talent trees at the bottom. So oftentimes we're seeing Arcane Intellect here, but both of the casters are kind of ignoring the mana pool talents that are very popular in the standard builds. So we're seeing that currently as level 4, we have Frostbitten and Deep Chill, standard talents to be taken here. And TeamLiquid, with the map control that they were already able to establish, are going straight for the Mercenaries again. But look at that, good kill against Tassadar. Vala, on the other hand, dying, and they're trying to go for Terror now once again. Black Scorp going in position, and they're trying to start an Uberag out. Good polymorph timing here, not allowing him to burrow charge away until the last second. They were not able to get the damage in. And of course, with Wormhole now on level 13, we see Black Scorp move in for a quick cleave and then just move out once more. 10 kills against 2 in the game just now. The level 13 talents, Brightwing didn't pick hers just yet. We're having Thunderburn or Thunderstrike taken on 13, Evasive Fire, and also the Frost Shot for Vala. Absolutely, this is one of the best things when you're talking multi-shot build. It's not necessarily the damage that you're dishing out with a multi-shot, but it's also just the safety that you have thanks to the distance on it. And, of course, the Frost Shot, which helps you with disengage, chasing down targets. It's just such a great tool in general. Brightwing still not with a choice on level 13. There's of course a couple of things that you can do on the level. We have, well, the shoes are available here. Sprint, if you really want to go for it. An Ice Block is also a good option, but I'm not quite sure if they really need an Ice Block on Brightwing in this case right now. So they've been talking about this as well, and apparently they go for the Sticky Flare, which is actually kind of nice for the slow. And this is one of those things when you really feel that as Brightwing you are safe enough that you don't need any of the 2 talents that I just mentioned before. So you can go into that instead. Go Terror here at the bot lane is still trying to push this back. The Shrine's active again, and that is bad news right now for Puszek Team since they don't have level 13 yet. They're working on it, and there it is. So now they have the talent and can finally start to go into one of those fights. But Black Scorp is already there, waiting for an opportunity to do some damage. Blinking in and blinking out. We have Icy Veins taken on Jaina. And it is, in this case, Prescience. So Prescience taken, not going for the Shrink Ray. I find that interesting considering that Black Scorp is going to do just so much work in those fights. But with Prescience, you're a lot safer on Tassadar. Now I'm curious to see what's going to be taken on level 16. If it's going to be the second strike, regardless, or if he goes for Dimensional Warp, which is oftentimes the talent that you try to get if you go for Prescience on level 13. So Anubarak is aiming for Spell Shield in this case, which allows him, of course, to be much more tanky. Rotations on the map are now a little bit more difficult, and at this point, just the heroes have more sustain, more hit points, so it's a little bit more difficult to really just go in on that. And we see also the teams rotate with 3 or 4 or 5 people, so it's not really that one-on-one situation any longer that you oftentimes end up in the early game. Level 15, nearly 16 versus 14, and TeamLiquid is just trying to stall a bit of time and get experience, especially with Brightwing up at the top lane. That's what we're currently seeing here. Grand Paquette has been moving in with that and is now trying to just push down this fort. And also, of course, to just get that 16 talent. Once they have that, they should be able to make a lot work here. And the problem for Puszek Team is that now that both shrines belong to TeamLiquid, they have to be in the mid lane to defend. And now that the 16 talent is there, have fun doing that. So yeah, double blood for blood, Critterize, Stone Form, Black Scorp jumping in, Vortex goes for the dragon again, and they can't do anything about that. Maybe, well, I was thinking about Malfurion maybe with a Moonfire, but that would also mean that he has to expose himself again to the wrath of Muradin with another Storm Bolt. The Dwarf can hit pretty hard, and well, we all know that Malfurion is pretty vain. He doesn't want to lose his teeth because the Storm Bolt hits his mouth, so in this case he just decides that he needs to move back for now. Well, there's just no dentist in the world that's gonna fix that, I can promise you that. Black Scorp goes in again, a lot of damage on Kreku. He has the double bombs by now, of course, so that's a lot of burst damage after a blink, and then with Wormhole he can always move out again. We have currently down here another move into the bottom lane where we could see the wall fall, but I don't think that they are going for keep just yet, or can they? They're still so far ahead. I mean, it's 3 levels. And again, this poke that we're seeing from Black Scorp, jumping in, cleave, bam, double bombs, and wormholing it out again. There's, of course, the healer in the back, but just look at the team starting to lose their hit points, and most of their wells are already on cooldown, so we still have 10 seconds on the Dragonite. Not enough to kill a key, but they could just try and force the issue with the heroes after Vortex is back. We have him on Vala here. That's a bit of extra control that they have thanks to the Frost Shot, but they decide to just move back and probably gonna take the mercenary camps. And yes, that's the first one. Grand Paquette already using Bribe, and if they do that well now, they can just protect those 2 mercenaries and make sure that they push in the first keep of the game. There's still no 16 talent, and you want to exploit that as much as you can. They're going straight for it here. Down here we have, yep, the keep, of course, with the Black Arrow of Sylvanas. That's even an added bonus that you have right there. Go Terror, is eating a lot of damage. That stun comp was pretty sweet. And Black Scorp just moves in and does so much with this. Once again, Lucifron, this time missing his Stormbolt actually. Malfurion's teeth are safe for now, and he's happy about that, but he's not too happy about, again, Zeratul being quite next to him. The shield of Shadow Bro is helping him, but just look at that poke. We have them sieging up against the position of Puszek Team, and Puszek Team still doesn't have their 16. And it looks like it's going to end with one of the keeps being lost here. The silence! Malfurion just barely gets his tranquility in, and they are about to hit 16, so Liquid thinking, well, maybe we should move back right now and not force it just yet, and it's probably the better decision here. Better safe than sorry, that's what you want to do here. We're having right now Black Scorp and Grand Paquette is starting to move back. Terra and Puszek Team, they're still aiming for, they're aiming for that 16, and there it is. We have after... Interesting. Enduring Growth and Life Seed taken from 7 and 13 for Malfurion. A lot of healing numbers. And he goes for, instead of Hardened Focus, we actually see him with the Tenacious Roots, trying to get a little bit more lockdown against the opponent. And now we also have that 16 talent for Tassadar, which is indeed Dimensional Warp. So he's going for the standard Tassadar build, which allows him to be a bit safer, instead of utilizing the second strike. And it's interesting, I feel, regarding that he took the extra range on level 1. So I thought that he would put a bit more pressure or focus on that talent. Nice isolation of 2 of the heroes. Good Void Prism there. They're killing the tank. Down goes an Uberak, and they're jumping in again with Vortex using his avatar form. Grand Paquette trying to just move back. And we have the Temples now active as well, and with another kill against Jaina. This is already a quad kill. It's going to be a quintuple kill once that Shadowmar is dying here as well. Well, is he actually? He could. Is there going to be another slow, some kind of disable? Wow! Just barely able to keep himself alive. But with the Dragonite now up for grabs and the team just moving in to go for core even without the Dragonite statue, it looks very much like we're going to see a third game between Team Liquid and Puszek Team here at the end of the storm. Team Liquid with a great performance. 14 kills against 2, and they're tying up the series against the Polish team. Puszek Team will have to try and fight in game number 3 to take the series here. Nice comeback from Team Liquid, winning game number 2 here in Dragonshire.
The Spanish team with a victory, tying the series up and really showcasing on Dragonshire once again their team coordination, which is one of the things that really sets them apart from the rest of the teams usually. Very well played here. They get the tie and they force them into another match. And this is going to be happening on Cursed Hollow. So our last map to decide who's going to advance in the winner's bracket and who will drop down in the loser's bracket on Cursed Hollow. And Puszek Team went back to the roots, you could say. Back to the style that they played in the first game. They play a more aggressive composition this time, trying to put the pain in there. They have Mirrodin, they have Tyrande, they're running this with the Zeratul. So a lot of roaming potential on the map in general, and just the attempt to really put pressure on their opponents. TeamLiquid, on the other hand, is in this case right now also just like trying to have at least a few heroes that can deal with this. They even have a Zagara, which is of course a bit, a little bit weak in the early game when it comes to the escapes. He doesn't really get away from any kind of ganks, but with good creep spread you can usually see them coming and then react to it. So TeamLiquid trying to achieve map control here once again. Guys, this is the last map of the series, so let's jump right into it and see if TeamLiquid can win it with a 2-1, or if Puszek Team is able to cause the upset here in the first round of the tournament, of the End of the Storm. Let's go right into it.
Alright, boys and girls, game number 3 is happening and we are on Cursed Hollow. The series is tied. We have TeamLiquid going up against Puszek Team, and whereas the Polish team was able to win game number 1, the Spaniards took the second one. So let's find out who's going to take the series here. To the left side once again, TeamLiquid. Vortex on Kelthas, Blackscorp on Sylvanas, Gran Paquete on Malfurion, Lucifron is playing the Prince again on Arthas today, and we have Falcon on the Zerg Queen. He's playing a Zagara. To the right side of the map, it's their opponents, the Polish team, with Shadowbro on Tyrande, Gotero on Mirrodin, Kreku on Jaina, Ibrahim on Zeratul, and Rutsov on Brightwing. I'm well aware that I don't pronounce Rutsov correctly, but well, if you choose a Polish pronounced name in a game like this, then it's just the risk that you run. Some people like to live their life on the edge, like to live dangerous, and Rutsov is one of them. Apparently, if you misspell it a little bit and if you mispronounce it, I don't know, like you apparently have to think about like 3 corners for it to work out, but I was told that it kind of means turtle, or can mean turtle, depending on how you pronounce it. Doesn't really matter. Brightwing is at the top lane together with Ibrahim. We've been talking about the composition already a bit that the Polish team is running here. They have a very strong roaming squad with Tyrande and Mirrodin that they could use at any time, and they could even throw a Zeratul in the mix occasionally. Already in the silence and the polymorph up here at the top lane against Lucifron, going for that righteous prince outfit. Be a bit of a bad boy Lucifron for once. Did you ever meet Lucifron, by the way? Like the 2 Moreno brothers, Vortex and Lucifron. If I would like have to call one of them the bad guy and the other one the good guy, Vortex definitely would be the bad guy. But yeah, Lucifron, he definitely has that you know, that righteous prince image there. He has that going for him. He's like one of those good guys. He's one of those guys, if you have like if you have a daughter at some point and she brings a guy home that is like Lucifron, then you're happy and you're saying, okay, he's a good kid. Ibrahim is moving in and whoa, takes down Blackscorp. Blackscorp currently getting to taste his own medicine there. The Zeratul pressure is real, and oh boy, Puszek Team, look at these guys. Back with a vengeance, aren't they? Last game didn't go so well, but now they already have a double kill here. Really well done. We have Gran Paquete solo at the bot lane right now. Malfurion was just like, well guys, where is everybody? Everybody's dead already. I guess that's one of the problems that you have anyways when you're like 10,000 years old, that everybody that you know dies and withers. He's a little bit like the Highlander in that case. Highlander is a bit more badass, but he has the same problem. Everybody that he loves and likes just dies at some point and he lives on. Can be pretty cool, but I guess at the same time it can also be pretty annoying. So I'm not quite sure how Malfurion is going to handle that, but I don't really see a big sword anywhere, so I'm disappointed. The Prince is dead. Long live the Prince. Arthur's going down to Zeratul and Brightwing to the top lane. So, yeah, Puszek Team is really putting the hurt out there, aren't they? That pain train is rushing in. And again, they are in the mid lane. Uh-oh, Malfurion. Yeah, well, that doesn't look too good, does it? Protective shield, the body blocks are real. And goodbye, Malfurion. Sylvan, what is going on here? TeamLiquid is getting slaughtered right now. 5 versus 0. What is happening? I just see heroes dying left, right, bottom, and center, and it's only Spanish heroes that are getting slaughtered right now. This is crazy. Terror is... What kind of sorry excuse for an owl was that? I mean, Tyrande is on the same team, that's true. But if you're trying to scare him away, then at least do it right. What? Another kill! Go Terror! Ah! The cannon tower in the face. Alright, so 6 kills against 1. Finally they get a hero counter kill. But, well, we have Ibrahim in the mid lane, and I don't think that Puszek Team is going to be too unhappy about it. Keep in mind that they also have still another buddy up at the top that can soak the experience. So that death isn't really hurting them in any way. We have again Snowstorm taken level 4 for Jaina. Seems to be the preferred build for Puszek Team when they are going into Jaina, not going for that Arcane Intellect that you will see most of the time, nor are they going for Envenom. I actually think that with the changes that are coming to Envenom pretty soon, where the duration over which the poison will get applied just takes 10 seconds instead of 5, we will see Envenom a lot less, if ever. Lucifron attacked here, and again a kill, like, Jesus! 7 kills against 1, level 7 on the board already for the Polish team. TeamLiquid is currently getting demolished here. That comp that they have doesn't work out at all. Zagara is trying to get some pressure back onto the top lane, but the second tribute already ending up in the hands of Puszek Team. Polish team with a very, very nice experience lead there as well. They're nearly a level ahead right now. I mean, they execute the pressure at the bot lane. They have Tyrande there. What? I mean, you can't even look anywhere else. Like, the heroes are dying left, right, bottom, and center up to the top here. But another kill against Sylvanas. Zagara and Sylvanas are dead. 9 kills against 1. Boys, I can promise you I did not mix the two team names up. The red team is indeed Puszek Team. They are currently pulling a TeamLiquid on TeamLiquid. And Lucifron and his boys, they do currently not find any kind of weapon or tool that they could use to really shut the Polish team down. We nearly have we have more than a level lead actually for the opponents. Grand Paquette just barely getting away there towards that well, but there's 3 heroes up at the top. It's such an aggressive lineup that Puszek Team is running here. They have Zeratul and Muradin that are currently roaming. We can move on to a lane where there's Tyrande as well to just get that stun lock in. Zeratul alone is putting Zagara in a very uncomfortable position over and over again. And there's Black Scott now moving in as well. Apparently he didn't see Ibrahim either. So Zeratul still gets his wish. Bot lane, of course, is where the 3rd tribute spawns. We have the level 7 talent finally for both of the team. Oh my god, that triplets. You got to be joking. Malfurion is down, and, well, that kinda, that will end up in a curse. It's going to be cursed at this point. Right now we are having, we're actually having Go Terror taking the tribute. There is Vortex. What is he doing? Cancelling that out. Did he? Okay, Lucifer cancelled it out. Alright. So we have still level 10s ready, and that means Avatar, that means Emerald Wind. So they are delaying that for as long as they can, but I'm not sure if they will be able to deny it, and I highly doubt they will. They take the curse, and we have at the same time now once again Black Scott, Lucifer in the mid lane. Another stun, and there's even more free damage. Oh my god, Terra doesn't give a shit, does he? Jumps in over the wall and is like, well, you think you're safe? Think again. The dwarf is always ready. And since Lord of the Rings, when Legolas was throwing Gimli, we all know that dwarves can fly if they just want, and that's exactly what he did there. He jumps the wall, flies over that thing, and down goes Arthur's. 11 kills against 1, a 4th down at the top lane. This is a slaughter, this is a graveyard. Puszek Team is currently murdering them. Someone call the care police, because this is definitely a crime in progress. Kreku moves to the top, they're destroying the walls. This is a disaster for TeamLiquid here. This is like the first time that I've really seen them being taken apart like this. It's the 3rd game of a best of 3 series, and Puszek Team is currently playing an amazing match. And TeamLiquid, this is not the TeamLiquid that we know. That Spanish Armada, for some reason, does currently... well, they have lost all the wind in their sails, didn't they? It's like the Spanish Inquisition has lost their touch there. Go Terror is moving in. They're going for boss right now. A bit of a desperate measure, I want to say, trying to make that happen. But they did it well. Good timing for them. The rotation was quick, and therefore Puszek Team realized too late what was happening there. We're seeing up to the top, Kreku, Go Terror, Ibrahim, and Brightwing going for the boss and at least getting that counter boss. But this is usually what we're seeing from TeamLiquid. This is the style that TeamLiquid is playing. Getting the map dominance, making sure that they have the control, getting that lead. And normally it's really just amazing to see how they are able to get just that slight lead in experience by zoning the opponent a bit, getting a lane here, there. And yeah, in this game it just doesn't work out for them. They are currently running this with the Wailing Arrow. We have, of course, on the side of Khaldor, the Phoenix that they are taking for zoning and also then damage. But the bot lane is now Well, at least that fort is destroyed, so they got that. But let's see how Puszek Team is going to play from here. It's not over just yet, but it's 1 kill against 12, and TeamLiquid, they need to get their act together if they really want to come back into this. Of course, in the later stages of the game, one team fight is all that you need to come back into the match, but right now, TeamLiquid is definitely struggling. There's no questioning that. Uberim is in position in the mid lane right now. We're having him straight going for the deep push here. Experience is of course another thing that he will be able to get with that. They have the 13 talent with the Icy Veins on Jaina, Wormhole and Zeratul, Sprint in this case on Brightwing for the extra escape and repositioning during the fights. Since he doesn't have Blink Heal, it's a talent that really makes also quite a lot of sense. With Blink Heal usually you can escape in a dangerous situation, but when you don't have that and you go for Emerald Wind and you don't always want to use your heroic ability immediately when you're getting jumped, and you can use Sprint in this case now as well. So right now we're having, we're also having like the Spell Shield, Overflowing Light taken, pretty standard talents for them there, though with the exception I want to say of Icy Veins, so there's no Ice Block there for Jaina, which would have been of course another option that they could have gone for. Regarding the damage, well, damage is of course one of the things where you see Zeratul currently shines in, and Zeratul just does so much. He's everywhere. He's everywhere just trying to get the damage in, get the pain in, bring the hurt, and now we're having another tribute spawning on the map, which will allow, or it should allow Puszek Team to get ahead in tributes once more. So far TeamLiquid hasn't taken a single one, and I don't think that they're going to start here since they don't have a low 13 talent, so you don't really want to fight in that case, do you? It's, by the way, an auto-attack build on Uberim and not the build that Lucifron used in the last match. That's the tribute now for Puszek Team. The Polish team is taking that. And the bot lane, that's where we're seeing most of the heroes for TL. But it looks like Vortex is, well, he's trying to go to the top lane to, first of all, deep-push and also get additional experience. But Brightwing can simply move down to the bot lane with a phase shift and then turn this into a 5 versus 4. They are starting to move in right now, but at this point the 13 talent hits, and now I guess Puszek Team is going to try and play this a little bit safer and aim for 16 first. They're still 2 level ahead. There's no real need to risk that. If they get an opportunity, they will jump on a target, but I don't think they're going to try and force that. Full heal build on Malfurion so far. We could see Hardened focus on 16. I actually suppose that we will see that. But we're having, at this point now, Enduring Growth and Life Seed taken, so the numbers are going to be there. And it's also Mutalisk now for Zagara. Yeah, and of course the Flamethrower talent. So 16 is all that you really need in this case to make a comeback. If you have Ignite on your Flame Strike, you can really start to make a lot happen with that, and I guess that's what they're currently banking their hopes on. We're seeing up at the top already another tribute spawning, and the level 16 talent is it's within reach. Brightwing could get that. As the Owl, trying to find out where exactly TeamLiquid is positioned. I suppose they might even be going for Brightwing. Well, no, they're not jumping it just yet, and TeamLiquid is just basically saying, alright, take it. We don't care. Take the tribute. It's only the second one. We have to be patient. We know that we are in a bit of a shitty spot right now, so as long as we fight for the next one, it's all going to be fine. And even that is not going to be easy, because at the next tribute, I think we are still seeing an imbalance in regards to the talents, since I highly doubt they will be able to get 2 entire levels in that period, or that amount of time. Puszek Team taking the watchtowers now as well. It's map control that they want. They take the camps, they take the watchtowers, they have vision on the map, they have a dominant presence at the mid lane, at the top lane. They also need to push out the bot lane, but that's something that they're currently doing with that Siege Giant camp that was taken. The 16 talent put Northern Exposure into their hands, Stoneform, Criterizer, of course, another talent that they're currently using here on Brightwing for the extra damage. So it's more about the burst than anything else, and especially with the Ranger's Mark, it's something that you can really rely upon. We're having also over here now again the tribute spawning, and this would once again be the Curse tribute, and Brightwing is still soaking experience. TeamLiquid is miles away from level 16. They won't be able to use that, so I suppose they will have to accept the curse. They can't try to just stall for as long as possible. I like that they're taking the camp at the same time. I'm really liking that, so it's not time wasted. They're putting it to use. But in the long run, they will have to give up that tribute, and then they will be cursed. I don't think there's anything that they can do around that. So yeah, right now we have GoTerror starting to channel that, or at least he's trying to. Shadowmire is there, Kreku as well, Lucifron with a rotation, and up at the top lane it's still Brightwing getting experience. And yeah, is Puszek Team giving this up? There is no way, right? Why would you? Why would you? There's no reason. You're 3 level ahead. you have nothing to gain if you give that up. You can get that curse, and you know it. And now that they have everybody there, Brightwing moves in, they're moving into the backline, and they snipe Kelthas! Doesn't even get a chance to get anything off there. Lucifron is dead as well. The bubble against Blackscorp. They're going for the stun. Oh my god, Malfurion is dead, and they're jumping Falcon now. Zegara dying, and that makes a quintuple kill with the boss being eliminated. And this is of course the worst case scenario. If your opponent gets boss and can time the curse so that the boss arrives at the gate with a curse just happening, this is the nightmare, the worst case scenario. It doesn't get any worse than that. Right now, there's the tribute channeled after boss was taken, and this boss is gonna have a blast. He's gonna move in at the bot lane together with the Siege Giant Camp. Good luck defending that, and also dealing with the pressure in the mid lane, where we're having Puszek Team going strong once more. A 3-level lead for them, and they basically checkmate TeamLiquid in the last move. It's a loss-loss situation for TeamLiquid. We are in game number 3 of the best of 3 series in the winners bracket of the end of the storm in round 1, and it looks very much like TeamLiquid might drop down into the losers bracket. Right now we have the bot lane pushed. There's that boss being eliminated. I don't think that the keep is going to fall here, but in the mid lane they can't do anything about that. This one is down a 4-level lead. It's 4 levels that they are ahead now, and they're starting just to move straight to the top. They're going for keep number 2. Not even the 16 talent, that's not even Ignite on Kelthas. If you have 16 on Kelthas, then you can at least poke a bit with flame strikes with Ignite and try to get a kill. But they don't even have that. It's level 20 versus 16. I mean, like, come on. They're moving in once more. There's already the spell shields that they're using. A bubble in the back, dropping Vortex here, freezing him into place. Lucifron is trying to escape, getting healed by Grand Paquette, shielded too, but it's just not enough. Arthas doesn't have an escape, and he gets dropped. 2 of the keeps are down, and TeamLiquid with the level 16 talent has now to close a 4-level gap if they want to win this game. Hardened focus on Malfurion, so far not doing anything for them. We even see Zeratul on level 20 with the auto attack, will now go straight into the Nexus blade, and goodbye Zegara. Zegara is now down as well. They could go for a keep, I suppose, but in this case, even a move towards the core would have been something that I would have completely understood. Uberim moves in, puts some pressure on the Blackscorp, and it looks like Puszek Team is trying to play this super safe. They are running out of mana, they are running out of hit points with the pokes that are now finally available to for Kelthas, and this currently is it. So at this point we're having the top lane pushing in with catapults. The mid lane is doing exactly the same thing at the bot lane. Look at that keep. I mean, this is nearly dead as well, and they can now simply, they can do whatever they want. Like, Puszek Team can go for boss, they can simply go move as 5 into the map and try to take the game there as well. But this is a very, very bad situation right now for TeamLiquid. If not for a miracle, they're not going to be able to come back into this series. Hard camp is being taken now. The Owl on the way, showing the position that we are seeing for TeamLiquid, and right now the Spanish team is absolutely desperate. They need to win a fight, and they need to win it with a 3-level disadvantage and being behind in talents as well. And that rarely happens. Very good game by Puszek Team so far. 27,000 damage on the side of Zeratul. By the way, the same amount of damage that we're seeing for Kelthas, who is starting to power spike here on this level. We're seeing them move, all of them move in up at the top, and well, there it is. Muradin jumping in, boss attempt by TeamLiquid, a burst against Malfurion, goodbye heal, and a 4-man bubble for the setup. Everybody moving in. Oh, Brightwing pushing Lucifron away, nearly taking the boss because of that. There's even a more for the disengage, but the boss already taken. Level 17 versus 20. The boss on the top lane. There's no keep left there. Level 4 players against, or 5 players, sorry, against 3. The kill against Kelthas makes that 2, and this is going to be it. The bot lane is being pushed as well, and this push alone is going to take down the last keep that we're seeing for the Spanish team. There comes the laugh. I'm not quite sure why exactly that is, but apparently Blackscorp was trying to channel that tribute. I'm not 100% certain what that was. But yeah, there's the GG already dropped, and this, of course, is going to conclude the best of 3 series here, ladies and gentlemen. It is a victory for Puszek Team. The Polish team takes it against TeamLiquid. They win with a 2-1 against their opponent. So congratulations to Puszek Team, defeating the best team in Europe here in the best of 3 series. Definitely something that we do not see any day.
Puszek Team destroyed TeamLiquid on that map. Oh my god, usually it's exactly the other way around. During the match I actually had to look at the overlay and was thinking like, well, I'm mixing things up here. Yeah, but everything was as it was supposed to be. TeamLiquid in this game didn't stand a chance. They lost the momentum early on in the game and Puszek Team got the first few kills in, and then with that advantage in talent, in levels, Puszek Team just never let go. They always went straight for the kill and they got a lot of those. Really well played by the Polish team. TeamLiquid therefore with a loss, and that doesn't really happen all too often to TeamLiquid, especially not in the best of 3 or best of 5 series. So it is the Polish team that takes it with a 2-1 here. Congratulations to them, very, very well played and a pretty impressive performance by them as well. TeamLiquid, not really with the spirit that we usually see, but then again, you can't win it all, and they have had great streaks already. They are of course not out of the tournament, they are in the losers bracket and will maybe be able to fight their way back to the finals there. Well, in this case, guys, you already, if you actually watch the channel a lot, you already know that they did very well in the tournament then after all, but this first round match that they played here definitely caused a lot more problems to them that they probably expected. So once again, congratulations to Puszek Team. I hope that you guys enjoyed the series here. There were a lot of people asking for it, so I finally put it up. If you enjoyed it, give the video a thumbs up. If you want to see more Heroes of the Storm on the channel, then do the same thing as well. Any questions you can put in the comments, and if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, you should hit that sub button. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in today. I'm going to see you soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.